Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. I took the day off work today, spent some time at home with Paula and my grandchildren, but had to jump on the bus and come into the city for a 4 o'clock dental appointment today. So I thought I'd come down a little earlier and just punch out a Jim's 5am Club before I go and see my dentist. So it's an autumn day. It's a little bit breezy, a little bit of cloud in the sky. There's a lot more cloud over the bridge there than what there is over the Opera House. But the weather conditions are mild, and summer, I think, is well and truly done for this year. So the book summary that I'll go through today is entitled The Apology Impulse. The Apology Impulse by a dual authorship of Cary and Sean O'Meara. I'll just go down to the Commissioner's steps just to get out of this breeze, see if I can. But this book is all about the topic of apologising, being sorry, and more to the point, over apologising and always being too sorry, but never changing your ways and losing credibility, I guess, by just saying you're sorry when you're not really all that sorry. So let's tuck into this book. It is a beauty, and it's one of those topics that I love talking about. So the author says here that to apologise because people don't like your idea is effectively an apology for existing. Something to think about. And the frequency of us apologising and the frequency of I'm sorry is diluting its meaning. And I've noticed that over the years as well. You know, we throw around the word I'm sorry like confetti. But if you're truly sorry, then it's more than just the words, it's more about actions. So the author here is saying that people who say sorry all the time have got to be careful, because what they're actually doing is they're diluting its meaning if they're not truly sorry for what they've done. And the author also mentions something which is pretty interesting as well, and things that I've noticed over the years, that there are some people who are so good at playing the sorry game that they can actually twist its purpose to suit their interests. So people will actually use the sorry card just to gain favour in your eyes, but only to use it in order to manipulate you, your family, your friends, or the situation to their benefit. So the bottom line, according to this author here, is that we need to become adept at being able to identify the genuine sorriness, or the genuine sorry, as opposed to the ingenuine sorry that frequents the airwaves so often these days. So the first structured point to come out of this book is that companies and people, so both corporations and people, are apologising far too much, and it's ruining the word sorry for everybody. You know, just like the word sorry, just like the word I love you, you know, all of these words are being overused, as is the word hate. You know, people will use the word hate, I hate this, I hate that, I hate you, when they don't really mean it, but they just use it because there's no other word in their vocabulary that can allow them to express their real feeling, as opposed to something which is a little bit extreme. And the author also says here and alerts us to the fact that social media has made things even worse, because people can go online and trash somebody for a simple slip up. You know, you can go and buy a product or a service from an organisation, or go to a restaurant and have a meal, and because the meal isn't, you know, to 100% of the expectation, or something happens beyond everybody's help or control, then somebody can go online and just absolutely trash somebody, because, you know, getting behind the keyboard, and the keyboard warriors out there are very, very bold and very, very aggressive when it comes to being very judgmental, because they don't have to face that person, and they hide behind a persona, a social media persona, which in many ways is quite different to what they're like as a person. Because when you meet them out and about, they're easy to get on with, they're lovely, they're jovial, they're funny. But once they're behind a keyboard and in their social media face or persona, as I mentioned before, they can become quite aggressive and quite rude. So you know, people can be aggressive, people can overreact to certain things, but it also leads to an overreaction at the other end, where people at the other end of the equation are too quick to apologise, and that sorry absolutely means nothing, and the meaning, as we said before, has been, or can be, diluted. So the call to action here in this book is to be very, very careful and very mindful with how you approach apologising, and to make sure that you're not seen as a pushover or as somebody who's too ready to apologise without changing their ways or being genuine about it, I guess is the bottom line. Because if you want people to take you seriously, if you want your family to take you seriously, if you want your work peers to take you seriously, if you want your social circle to take you seriously, then you have to show that you're willing to change every time you say you're sorry. From a Christian perspective, from a Greek Orthodox perspective, because that's all I can talk about, because I am a practicing Greek Orthodox, a work in progress Greek Orthodox. But the Greek Orthodox Christian faith has confession as part of the sacraments, and every year before Lent commences, there's a special service which is called Forgiveness Sunday, where this service is meant to call each and every Christian to action, to apologise to the people around them for the wrongs that they have done, both known and unknown. So, but it's not only about apologising, but it's also apologising with the purpose of being genuine in your apology and changing your ways. And there's also confession, where you can meet with your spiritual father once every while, depending on the relationship and the thirst you have for confession. And in that confession, you'll confess the things that you've done, the problems that you've caused, and a change in heart. And what the spiritual father will do is he will, through the power of the church and the power of Jesus, forgive you of those sins and of those transgressions. But the deal is that you get forgiven, but you need to have a change in heart. You need to change your ways, and you need to be a different person following that confession. Not to leave that confession and go and be the same person and do the same sort of things that you said that you had a change in heart about. Look, when we're growing up, when we're young, sorry meant that we would never do it again. When your parents punished you or the teachers punished you, especially in my generation, that punishment was to try and get you to change your way. And you would say that you're sorry, and that sorry meant that you were genuinely sorry and you would change. But if you say you're sorry and you don't change or follow through, you lose a lot of trust. You lose a lot of trust and respect from the people around you who are observing you and observing your every move, such as your children, your partner, your close family and friends, and your work peers. So, once again, be very, very careful how and when you apologise, because it can make you look fake, I guess is the word that I'm looking for. Because you need to say you're sorry and develop an action plan. So if you wrong somebody and you follow up by saying you're sorry, you also need to show them or describe an action plan for what you're going to do or what you're not going to do so it doesn't happen again. Whenever you wrong your grandchildren or your partner, you need to say you're sorry and show that you're sorry, and solve that problem. We basically need to take being sorry seriously and commit to it. So the third point in this book is that yes, we need to say we're sorry, but there are many situations where we don't need to say we're sorry and we don't need to apologise, because not apologising can be the best option. Because there's a famous saying that says, sometimes the only way to calm muddy water is to leave it alone and to let it settle on its own. Sometimes the best course of action is to do and say nothing at all, because by doing and saying something may stir the pot again and make things worse, or may get the other person fired up and get them attacking you as opposed to accepting your apology and settling the score. Because yourself on social media, the loudest people on social media don't actually represent the real customer base or the real situation. Just because you have a number of people who are against vaccinations or are against 5G or are against this or against that, just because they're loud and vociferous in their complaining and their activity, doesn't mean that there are many of them, and doesn't mean that of those who are of the same ilk and of the same viewpoint, that they are necessarily right. Yes, acknowledge them, acknowledge that everybody has an opinion, but don't go out of your way to A, accept their opinion, and B, apologise for you having your opinion. Because with cancel culture these days, people will go out of the way to attack you and to make you feel that you're wrong. But just because people are silent, just because the majority are silent, doesn't make you wrong, and it doesn't make the other people right, is what we're suggesting here. So if you're not at fault, don't apologise. Don't lower yourself to apologising, because through apologising you're giving ammunition to the others to attack you and to soil your reputation. So sometimes the best thing to do is not apologise and do not respond to the angry voices that are vying for your attention. Very, very powerful. So I'll finish off that book there, right there and then. Got to make it up to go and see my dentist. But thank you once again for joining me on Jim's 5am Club. from the Commissioner's Steps here at Circular Quay, where we went through the book entitled The Apology Impulse by Cary and Sean O'Meara, and we learnt a few things there. So let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay reasonable, stay relevant, and most importantly, if you are going to apologise, be sincere. If you are sorry, be sincere. If you are Greek Orthodox, use the tools available to you through your church, through your spiritual father, to engage in confession, to lift that burden from your soul, and also on Forgiveness Sunday to go out and engage all of those people who you think throughout the year or throughout your life you may have wronged, and to sincerely apologise for what you've done or for what you haven't done, or for what they may have thought that you've done. But at least you get an opportunity to chat about it, sort it out, and get it off your conscience. So take care. I look forward to coming to you again, maybe later on after my dental appointment, or possibly this evening when I go home and get in the car and just crank out another one or two, because I need to pump out 1,000 by my 61st birthday, and that's coming pretty quickly. So take care, all the best. Good luck you from Jim's 5am Club, and we'll chat again. And it is turning out to be a wonderful, wonderful autumn day. Take care and bye for now.